Sunflower Sims. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. Today we are building a base game family home, aka using stuff that I never use in The Sims. Anyway, I am initially building Willow Creek, but you will see later, as I will discuss, that I move this to a different portion of Willow Creek. But this ends up being a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. It looks kind of small, but I think it on the inside is a lot bigger than you think. I think it's deceptively small. But yeah. So here I am working on the outside. I'm going for kind of like a Cape Cod style, kind of like you can see in the house next door. I end up moving around this whole neighborhood because I realized none of the houses were really cohesive. So this neighborhood gets moved all around and stuff. Not on camera though. I do that on my own time. But yeah, working on the Cape Cod style here, doing some dormers and then working on the floor plan. So the main shape of the house came together pretty quickly. As you can see, it's really simple. It's just some boxes, and I knew what I wanted to do. It was doing the floor plan that took me a little while. It was pretty quick and easy to figure out the downstairs, but the upstairs I struggled with quite a bit, trying to find where to put bedrooms and how best it was going to fit. I will extend the house and make it a little bit bigger in a moment. I did play around with where exactly I wanted the fireplace. And then here it begins, the struggle with the stairs. I realized that if I put them in this front room, that it was going to be too small. That is what eventually becomes the dining room. So like I said, I realized it was going to be too small if I put the stairs in there, and I didn't think there'd be room for a good sized dining table. But yeah, so this house is built, and then, here, I guess I'll talk about the roof. So, for those of you who don't build frequently, you could see that the, roof was clipping, so I had, because of the dormers, so I actually had to do this in like 4 pieces or whatever, and just match them all to the same height and blend them together that way. I think that it works really well once it's done. I don't think you can tell that it's really 4 pieces. But then there is no clipping into the house, which is really nice. Anyway, about the house. So this I imagined was for a set of parents, 1 or 2 parents, and for once I made the bedrooms fairly gender neutral. I didn't have an idea of a gender in mind too much. I made a teen's room, and I figured that teen was pretty into plants, so it's pretty green. And then just into nature, I guess I should say. And then I made a child's room, and I didn't really have a huge personality for the child, other than maybe they're into like science because I put it in a chemistry table, but I didn't think through that personality a lot. I figured one of the parents, or maybe the teen as well, was pretty into the fine arts, because there is an easel in this house, I believe, as well as some instruments. Like I said, this is a 4-bedroom house, but I only used 3 of the bedrooms as bedrooms. The 4th bedroom is an office space, but you can easily convert it to a bedroom. As per usual, you can change around the bedrooms to fit different genders and ages, although I think that they're pretty gender neutral this time around. And now we're doing windows. This house has a lot of windows, but the game sucks and doesn't provide very good natural light, at least in my game. You can see some coming in directly through the windows, but I just feel like it's hard to get, no matter how many windows you use, I feel like it's really hard to get natural light. I don't know, maybe a lot of other simmers I see on YouTube use reshades, because their builds always have such beautiful natural light, and like any time of day on their lot looks great when they're building. But mine, I flip through trying to find the best lighting, and I just can never find great lighting. So maybe it's reshades. I'll have to look into that and see if other builders are using reshades, and if that's how their game's working so well, in which case I might get myself a reshade, because the lighting drives me crazy. And then I was picking out a brick, sorry, I can't speak, for the chimney, and I didn't really like the way that these little windows looked on the dormer, so I was trying to find other options, but there weren't really other options that worked really well, so we just live with it. It's fine. Adjusting the roof a little bit, and then I come to pick out a bunch of different roof patterns, playing around with them, trying to find the one I like the best. And I decided to move the house back because it ended up being way too close to the front of the lot. And I do put in some columns. I usually put columns on the side because it goes, when you put down siding, it goes by wall or by room, and it never turns out right. So I usually just use the non-edge siding and put in columns myself, and they don't have my basic ones in base game. I think those are from Get Together. So I use these from base game, the same ones that I used on the porch, and I think that they actually turned out really pretty. And here you'll see I was playing around with the roof because it makes, with this Cape Cod style, it almost makes the house appear to be like one story with like an attic maybe from like the front of it. And if you look, it's so much shorter than the house next door to it. And I couldn't figure out if it was all roofing or what was going on, why it was shorter. Maybe I used different heights walls, actually. That would make sense. And here I moved the house because, like I said earlier, that neighborhood just wasn't cohesive, and I'm trying to more or less build a save file. And so I want my neighborhoods to be nice and cohesive. And they just weren't turning out that way. So I moved this to another neighborhood where I think it would fit in better, and then I lighten up the siding to match the other houses around it more. And I believe I changed the roof pattern. I missed that when I was talking, but I believe I changed the roof pattern. And I still keep the same white columns. And yeah, here I am putting on some roof trim. I initially was going to put this house in Brindleton Bay after I initially moved it, but I didn't like the lot I had available because the Cape Cod style is very much Brindleton Bay to me. But again, like I said, I didn't quite have the lot that I wanted. So instead, I moved it to this neighborhood. It's the starter neighborhood in Willow Creek, although this is not a starter house. Yeah, so here I am trying to pick out some flooring for the decks. I end up going with a wood, this gray wood, and I think it looks really nice. I think it blends with the house well, and I just think it looks really pretty. And then I was trying to put on some accent pieces. I can never get these little L-shaped thingy-mabobs that go on the roof to like look right. I've seen other builders do it, and it looks great, but I can never figure out how to get it the way I want it. And then I put some flower boxes on those dormers, and I think that they look much better having some flowers. And then I put in a tree. I keep the landscaping really simple in the front of the house. The backyard too is pretty simple, just because of lack of plants that I normally use, and I just wasn't really sure how I wanted to decorate it, so I keep it pretty basic. Throwing in some rocks. And then I wanted to try and cover up the brown on the side of the yard there, but I couldn't. But I like the base grass because it blends with the world, and I couldn't find that in the menu, so I just didn't. And I thought about fencing in the front yard like this, but I thought it looked stupid cutting through the plants and the rock. And I didn't know what I was going to fill the front yard with and stuff, so I just decided not to. But looking back, it was kind of cute, I guess, if I maybe moved the tree and the plants. But I decorated the front porch a little bit with some porches, and I put down a mailbox. And I was really sad to find lack of outdoor decorations and activities in the base game. Again, I have not played with the base game since like 2014. I actually didn't start playing The Sims 4. I got the base game right when it came out, but I didn't start consistently playing The Sims 4 until a couple years ago because I just couldn't stand not having packs. I had all the expansions for The Sims 3, and I had a good amount of the stuff packs, and so I just could not stand The Sims 4 when it was missing so many features. But in the past couple years, now that there's lots of packs, I play The Sims 4 almost exclusively. It just runs so much better on my computer, and now that I've gotten used to it, I like the graphic style better. Initially, I liked The Sims 3 better, but I think that was just because of what I was used to. And maybe now it's just because I like The Sims 4 better just because it's what I'm used to, but I don't know. Either way, I exclusively play The Sims 4 now. Sims 3 just kills my computer. I don't have like a fancy built gamer's computer. I just have a really nice laptop. So it works, but The Sims, and it handles my mods and everything really well, but The Sims 3, man, that's something else. I use these paintings. They should not be flagged as custom content, because what they are is someone played the game and had their sim paint a picture of custom content, so the game just sees it as a base game painting. So it should not be flagged for custom content, which is great, and it gives something else. I have to go in and update it on my gallery. This is already up on my gallery, but by the time you're seeing it, I'll have updated it to include the hashtags so you guys can find it. But yeah, I thought that I was going to use different paintings. I've done it before in my own personal play, and then I was watching a speed build by Simlissy, I think, the other day, and she was mentioning how you can do that. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing, and yeah, that would work really well to spice up a base game house. So that's what I did, and I love floral, so I picked a floral one. Moving on to the kitchen, I was very disappointed because my favorite tiles are not in this pack, so I had to make do, but I think the kitchen turns out just fine in the end with the tiles I choose, especially once I get the cabinets and counters and everything in place the way I want them. I think it looks fine, because at first I was worried that it was too tiley, but when you put stuff on the floor and in the room, you don't notice it so much. So using these standard base game cabinets and counters, and then putting in a sink. I never use the sink. Like, I found in this build that I used so many items that I never use, because I have so many packs at this point that I have all the expansions. I have all the game packs except for Vampires and Journey to Batuu. And then I have most of the stuff packs. I'm missing like 4 stuff packs, I think. So I have so much stuff for this game that I even have my first pet stuff, okay? Although I will argue that there are some good items in there. Should it have been DLC for DLC? No, but are there some good items in the pack? There are a couple. Anyway, off that tangent. So like I was saying, I have so many items, I just don't use half of them, especially the base game ones. But yeah, I used a lot of items I don't use, and I think it turned out really cute, and I like it. And I think that the house still looks really full, and it still looks pretty. You can tell it's base game if you're an avid Sims player, but I don't think that that's like a negative thing, I don't think. And then there you can see I was trying to get that plant to go into the bay window, but it wasn't going to cooperate. So we just didn't have it. Putting in a fire alarm. And then putting in a nice rug for the kitchen table. And then here we are moving on to the beautiful living room. It is a smaller living room space. There's just one couch and a chair, but I think it works fine. It's a small family. It's a family of 4, at least what I intended the house to be for. So you got seats for all 4 people, but you could probably manipulate things to add in some more space. And, you know, someone can sit at the kitchen table and still talk and stuff. Hanging up some more of these custom paintings, except for I did a different pattern because I thought that they were too similar to the ones in the living room. They're made by the same creator, though. These are just some green leafy ones, which now that I'm thinking about it, I should have put in the teens room, but I didn't. Oh well. Looking for some decorations to put on the mantle on the fireplace here. So I just threw in some books and a little pear picture. Here I am looking for some activities to put in here. I was going to put a game table, but I didn't think there was enough room. So I did the easel and a violin, and using some more curtains that I've used pretty much in all the rooms. And then I put in a kids chemistry set, which now that I'm looking at it is right in front of the door, so I'm not sure if that's functional. Actually, you might want to move the door over a square. I always have move objects on, so I wasn't quite sure. And I'm a really bad builder in the sense that I don't play test, so if it doesn't work, just move the door over like half a tile and it should be fine. Yeah, sorry about that. In that regard, I am a very bad YouTuber. Yeah, and then Anyway, enough self-deprecating. Decorating the master bedroom, I went for some aged-looking furniture, maybe hand-me-downs. I thought that they looked pretty, with the, well, pretty in their own way, with the chips and everything. And then I kept it pretty simple for decorations in here, especially because there are so many windows here and in the dining room. I just felt like there didn't need to be a ton of decorations. Putting in a nice ottoman on the side of the bed, and then that is it for the downstairs. So then we come upstairs, and I just copy the same wood flooring, and I keep the entryway pretty simple, or the upstairs hallway pretty simple. I put in some doors, and obviously doors, and then I think I decorate that at the end. I was having a little bit of an issue here with the wall with the roof. It was being very goofy, so I don't know what I did, but I eventually got it. I don't know what manipulation was the one that actually fixed it, but I just like manipulated the wall and the roof a little bit, and it worked. So I'm decorating the teens room, like I said. I put in this green leafy bed, and then I pick out a green carpet, adding in some lights. I put in some curtains up on the windows, and then you probably don't need them on the windows, they're so high up, but you never know, it makes for good decoration. And then I'm sizing down this painting that we got in a recent update, and I chose the lizard swatch because I thought it was fun and naturey. And then I put in a cork board up above the bed, so maybe they have a pen pal, and they can get stuff from their pen pal. And then moving on to the child's room. The child's room is a little small. The teen's room is small too because of the bed. You could easily put in a single bed and rearrange a little bit and have some more space, but if it's just one sim, they can just slide in. I recently found out that in my game the scoot over technique finally works again. I know that it doesn't work for everyone though, so yeah. And it's a little iffy if your sims do it. Sometimes they're just like, just because they can doesn't mean they will kind of thing. Sometimes they're like, nah, I want to sleep on this side of the bed, and they just don't want to scoot. So, you know, that's a thing. Yeah. Putting up curtains in the child's room, I think that it turned out really cute. I just put in a bunch of posters. Like I said, I thought maybe they're a little nerdy with their book poster and their Harry Potter and astronauts and their chemistry table and all that good stuff. Working on the office, I put in this fancy office chair that I never use. And then I put in another corkboard in here. I add in a camera because I figured this family was into fine arts. Putting in a nice big bookshelf because I actually have the room for it, and I need to put more bookshelves in my builds. And then I put in a comfy armchair next to the bookshelf so you can sit and read, and adding some curtains. And during the screenshots I realized I didn't put a rug in there, so yeah, but then I felt weird just putting in a rug and not having it be in the speed build, but in the screenshots, although it's not like I've never done something like that before, so I don't know what my logic there was. You can put in a rug if you want. And then the bathroom, I kept pretty simple. I believe it should all be functional, even though it is only 3 tiles wide. I believe this is perfectly functional. Adding in a small carpet, and then we are moving on to the hallway. I just put in another bookshelf with some decorations on it and add in a painting, and then that will be it for the inside of the build. I do the outside to the backyard, putting in some floral runners, and then like I said, I pick out a painting, but that's about it for this entryway. I kept it pretty simple. Moving on to the backyard, I do a grill, and I put in a trash can, of course, and a table. I do make the porch a little bit smaller because it was pretty big, or the deck, I suppose. And yeah, I fenced in the yard. I put in some monkey bars, and I put in a hot tub, and that is about all. We're moving on to the screenshots. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video. I'll see you all in my next upload. Bye, guys!